In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to stop worrying what other people think of you. This is such a huge topic in our endeavors, especially as creatives. We tend to care a little bit more about what other people think of us than we do of our own work and our own self. We're afraid of criticism. We're afraid to be cast out of our tribes. It's a human innate thing, and I'll be honest, it's very hard to overcome. It's very hard to understand. Life has always pushed me in places that were uncomfortable. And, as an artist, as a creative, I had to always put myself out there, prove to myself that I can do certain things. And have I been laughed at before? 100%. Have I been criticized before? 1,000,000%. And that's the thing about it, is that anytime you put yourself out there, it feels like you're disconnecting from a tribe of people that don't necessarily agree with what you're trying to do. However, those are stories in our minds that we can easily change and develop into more positive stories. So the one thing about, for example, when I wrote my book, it's like, why am I writing this book? Who's going to listen to it? Who's going to read it? All those things. So we kind of go into a negative spiral. And someone helped me by rethinking that and saying, what happens if you don't write your book? What happens if you don't put your art out there? What happens if you don't start that business? And kind of changing it into a more positive perspective. Like, think about the people you're going to change. Think about the people you're going to help. Think about the people that are going to want to, hire you, and the people that you're going to attract to your work, and how powerful that's going to be for your life, right? And so, yes, there are probably going to be people who are going to, create the hate and say things or comment on your videos or whatever it is that you're on your page. And there's always that. You're never going to please everybody. And so not listening to other people's opinion is a huge way forward for all of us. Not listening to other people's opinions in regards to our creative endeavors is probably the best thing we could do for ourselves. And really listen to that inner self, that inner thought about who you can become. Why allow someone else's thoughts, their way of thinking, their dogmas, their beliefs and systems, and what didn't work out for them dictate who I can be and what I can do? It's almost ridiculous when you put it in that structure, and those are things you can't control. It's their task. How they think about me or how they think about what I'm doing is on them. I can't go into their mind and change that, nor do I really want to, because that's not energy well spent. Energy well spent is working on the thing that I can control, the craft that I can develop, the skill that I can improve on. And help the ones that do want to listen, that do care, that do reach out to me and say, Hussein, keep going. I love your videos. That's really powerful to me. And so if you're in a position to see someone else do something cool or creative, it's really hard not to compare ourselves. So instead of comparing, maybe we can reach out to them and say, hey, congratulations. I love your work. Keep doing it. It's helping me do X, Y, or Z. I love supporting what you're doing. Become a fan of theirs as opposed to a jealous, holding this envious way of looking at them, which, trust me, I have done before. I've done that. I've compared myself. I've been envious. I've judged other people. I've said things that probably I shouldn't have said. We all have done that. But the reality is how you can overcome that. To support others, to love on others, to encourage others. You're essentially will, what you put out will come back to you. That part will come back to you in tenfold. Some people will come out to support you and give you props and comment on your work and, just overall want what's best for you. And so sometimes we worry heavily about what other people think of us, but those people just so happen to be our family members. And that is, that makes it even harder, right? Our family members are the ones we love and we hold dear, and, we care about them. We care about what they think, how they think of us. Ultimately, the same thing applies. Reality is they live their life, you live your life. And if you keep allowing them to control how you are, who you need to become, you're going to restrict yourself from the creative things that you want to put out into the world. Your thoughts matter, just like the shirt says, right? Your thoughts matter, and your thoughts should actually overcome anyone else's opinion of who you are and what you're trying to do. Of course, if you're seeking like creative criticism, like someone that can criticize, like critique your work, right? Tell you what you can improve on, how you can do that, where you can do that. Like, that's good. You want that. You want people to come help you do the thing that you're trying to do, make it better. You know, your business, your marketing plan, your branding, your logos, you know, all that good stuff. You want somebody to help. You want some like exterior sort of, not validation, but approval in some sort of way. But know that, like, be aware of the fact that you are seeking that validation or approval, and say that to that other person. Say, hey, I'm seeking this validation from you in this way. And this is specifically what I want you to help me with or understand. And so that critique is in a way to develop you and not make you feel bad, guilty, shamed of what you're trying to do. And I think seek the people that are really trying to help you, as opposed to people who are just like random in your life, like super close. Sometimes those opinions, those things are there to protect us, and they do more damage than they do the good. And so think about who those people are that you want their opinions so bad, that what you're like, you admire and stuff. And think about yourself. Like, think about, what if you just admired yourself in a not a like a cocky way, but like in a positive way? What if you admired your work, your project, the thing that you're working on, the commitment you're into? What if you're your fan, right? Like, what would your fan tell yourself? Like, to keep going, to keep pushing, like, you got this, you know, like really positive things, right? Like, who you want to become is, you know, is way more important than what other people think of you. And what other people think of us is like so out of our control that it's really hard. And so much of our society dictates those things to people, and then it kind of like, and then it's a projection from them onto us. And that's just unfair. So we're battling this uphill battle, and it's not fair to who you are and who you want to become. So if you start to slowly carve at that and ignore it, you will become better at whatever it is you're trying to do. And that's what's most important. If this video is helpful to you, please hit the like button. Comment below if you have struggled with the opinion of others, and maybe we can help each other overcome that, right? In the meantime, what is one thing that you can do today that can help you alleviate that pain of what other people think of you, that perfection, and you getting to doing that thing without that burden, because it's a huge burden to carry that. Put that burden down, put that bag down, and do that thing without judgment. Don't judge yourself, and don't allow the judgments and the voices of others into your mind to take you away from what you're doing and what you're working on. I think it's very important. And so with that, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you thought this was valuable and someone else you know could really use this video, please share it with them. I would really appreciate that. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell right next to that. I'm trying to grow this YouTube channel, get these words of wisdom to as many creatives and small business owners out there as I can. I'm Hussein Albiati. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, your thoughts matter. Take care. Peace.